and that's us live.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Paranormal History's well-waited for question and answer night. Tonight's the night where you get to ask questions to the panel, and we get to ask each other questions, so you get to know us all a wee bit better. So don't be afraid to put your questions in the chat on YouTube or Facebook, and we'll do our best to answer them. Okay, I hope you enjoy this tonight. Good luck, guys. So I think what we're going to first of all start talking about is I'll just ask the questions. Before we do that, we should say hello to Gillian Daniels and John M. And welcome. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I think we're going to get started. Just going to break the ice a wee bit here. So I think we're going to ask for each everybody to then speak a little bit about themselves, and I'm going to ask you first, Scott.
Why you first?
Because you're the one that's good at talking. You like to talk.
I mean, I don't shut up. That's what you're saying. You're just saying I'm a motormouth.
You can talk.
Aye, okay. Hi, Penny. Ghostbusters, thanks for coming in. Hope you are all well. Well, you all know me. Sarah and I are the co-founders of Paranormal History. There's Sarah in. Watch her. She's a bit dodgy.
Ghost Witches, hello.
I've been into paranormal there's Andy Murphy in. Hi, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Been into paranormal for 25, 30 years, a long time. Started off when I was a teenager. I was into like horror films and blood and guts and stuff like that, and ghosts and what have you. And I just carried on through there. I had my, how you put it? I wouldn't say, some people call me a medium, but I don't term myself as a medium, and I never will. I've been called that a sensitive as well. And all started basically when, you know, if a phone rang, a landline rang, I could tell you who was phoning, or I could tell you what somebody else was going to say before they said it. Just random. So it didn't happen all the time. Just randomly it would happen. This carried on for a couple of years, and then I went to a spiritual church one night, and I got about 4 or 5 individual messages for the medium that were absolutely spot on. This church was in a totally different town to where I lived. Nobody knew, and I went alone. And the woman came to me. She told me about my daughter, told me about an ex-girlfriend, my dad, everything she said was spot on. She told me wee tiny things personal things that nobody, nobody would know. So that kind of, and she says, you're studying something, and I just started studying spiritualism at the time. And she says, carry on. So that was it. I just carried on through there. And Ghost Witch, what's your ghost skill? I smell things. I'm disappointed with my skill. I prefer to see or sense stuff. What happens with me is, you know, that feeling you get that somebody else in the room sometimes. I'll get that, or I'll go to a place, and for some reason I can tell you what's happened in that place in the past. Hi, Julie. Thanks for coming in, dog. Good to see you. Also, I can look at photographs. I've done a lot with Ghost Ramblers. We Natalie for Ghost Ramblers. She puts out a lot of photographs, and I picked up quite a bit of things, and the photographs as well. So it's kind of stuff like that. It doesn't happen all the time. I'm not a fantastic sensitive or medium or anything special. I can go for weeks and not pick up on anything, and then I can be out maybe in Tesco or something like that, and suddenly get a name or something pop into my head, just totally random, you know. And that's about it, basically, you know. Nothing much else.
Well, you're finished there, just say hello to a few guys and girls. Hello, everybody that's joining the chat. Just remember, you can ask questions if you've got any. We don't mind being grilled. So I think I'm going to go and ask Nicole, if you can let the team and everybody else know a little bit about yourself as well.
Okay, I started to see ghosts. I thought they were my friends when I was 3 years old. Always saw them, always talked to them. And when I was about 5 years old, I saw my first spirit who gave me a message, and it was my grandfather who told me I'm going to die. So I ran downstairs. My mom was on the phone. She was crying. I didn't know why. And I shouted, "Mom, grandfather is dead." And she looked up at me and she said, "Oh my God, you have the gift." I said, What? So I started on spirits, but to me that was normal. But since 5 years, started to sense more. I read pictures, photos, but I'd rather not do that because when I see a picture, I have this connection with soldiers. I don't know why, but a few months ago, I read a picture with soldiers and I felt the pain, the way they died. It's way too much for me to do, so I'm trying not to read pictures. I can channel a lot. I use my white lights, my pendulum, my gems, and it's like I'm still learning medium because to me that
Yeah.
doesn't feel well. Do I sense spirits? Yeah, I smell them. I talk to them. I'm trying to learn because I have this door in my head, but sometimes they knock at my door because they want to get in, they want to get attention, they want to tell me something, and sometimes I don't know how to deal with it. And then they scratch me. It happened a lot, but no demons, no demons. It's just those people want to say something or give them to someone,
Uh-huh.
learning how to handle that. But it's a gift, and most of us have
Yeah.
those gifts. Everyone can sense, but you have to admit it that you can sense. And I read in chat, what is your gift? I'm disappointed in my gift. It all comes in time. That's the advice I tell everyone. It comes in time. Don't force it. If you have the gift, it will grow, but give it time. That's about it.
I think sometimes as well, when spirits try to communicate, they can communicate in ways that might sound that may look scary to some people, but sometimes it's just the only way they've got of communicating to try and get the message through that they're wanting to communicate. You know, like I myself been involved in a house that's had some stuff happen, and it could be really, really scary in there. But they were really just trying to look out for us, but there was no other way of them communicating other than like what you said, scratch and stuff like that.
Sometimes a spirit will do whatever it takes to get your attention. It might not be directly you. It could be through a family member, a friend or something, you know, anything. Because to me, this is, as I said in all the lives, this is just my opinion. But to me, the one thing a spirit wants is to be noticed, to be acknowledged that they're there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the basics of what spirits are wanting. For people to know, whether it's a loved one to, you know, tell you that they're still here, you know, your mum, your dad, whoever, that's what they're actually wanting. So they can use whatever means is there available to them to get your attention or somebody's attention. You know, that's just my opinion.
No, that's exactly what they do. They're going to try and communicate.
Yeah, they tend to.
Sorry, Nicole.
Yeah. They tend to poke and scratch a lot, and most people think the demonic. No, but to me, I call them bully ghosts because some are like all of us. They have moods. They are in a temper because you're invading their space. So they tend to push you, but it's not always bad. But I can relate to people who witness it for the first time. It's scary, but it's not. Just think of them as humans as well. And it's good.
Yeah. And so so you see these, you can sense spirit quite a lot, Nicole.
All the time. I try to close my door. I'm still learning that. They talk to me in words, or they give me images in my. It's difficult to explain. First I sense with my senses, and then I see with my my eyes inside my head, and they give me pictures. Sometimes they talk whole sentences, but sometimes they only give me words and pictures. And sometimes they fool me a bit as well, because we have a funny ghost as well. But I do open my door every evening because there are lots of people who want to talk, and I have my own gang, I call them. Like I told you, I have a weird connection with soldiers, and my gang exists out of British soldiers from the First and Second World War, and one Australian and one Scottish soldier as well. And they always check up on me, and then I ask them a check up on my friends, and they do that, and they come back, and then I hear, "Oh, clear," and that's so good to witness that.
That is good. I love that.
To me, it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it feels great for that to kind of happen. There's obviously it's not for everybody, but to have that sense of feeling like we're human beings. We can only be in one place at one time, but to have somebody that can travel to make sure everybody is safe, just like guardian angels, is fantastic. So thanks very much, Nicole. I'm going to ask you, Sam.
Oh, well.
Yourself and
where do I start? I wouldn't say that I'm gifted in any way when it comes to the spirit world or the paranormal. I've always had a very, very keen interest from a young age. I was always into the spooky ghost stories and the dark places and ghosts this and ghosts that, which was quite strange for someone that didn't particularly like the dark growing up. Used to have to sleep with a light on and things, but to be fair, I like a good scare. I like to be tested to the point where I'm like, oh no, I'm really scared and I don't know whether I'm going to cry or pee myself, because it's just pure fear. But I enjoy that aspect of it, and I enjoy being challenged to the point where I start to second guess myself, because for all I believe, I always try and stay that bit skeptical and think, right, what's the reasoning behind this? I like to have some sort of proof or confirmation that something is there. And I'm the type of person that would hear a noise and think, right, well, what could that noise be? And then try and debunk it in a way by trying to recreate the noise. And then 9 times out of 10, you kind of recreate it and you're like, right, no, that's definitely something. For example, in your house with the drawers, there's no way that could have been done.
We've had some crazy experiences.
It's been some crazy experiences, but I tend to be able to. I'm quite good at picking up people's feelings, and I'm quite good at. I'm quite good at also gauging on like situations. It's like I get a feeling that something's going to happen, and 9 times out of 10, my gut feeling is, well, this is going to go wrong, or this is going to be all right. And 9 times out of 10, it goes that way. It's strange. It's like I'm like, oh, this something good's not going to happen here. I'm not too happy about this, and then bang, something happens. So it's just very, very strange. And my love for the paranormal and anything spooky's just grew from there, to be fair.
I think we're kind of all the same at different stages. With yourself, Nicole, you can see, smell, and you can actually speak with them as well. Scott, you get all these wee feelings like Sam, and you can have that intuition, and you can tell different things that's going to happen and stuff like that. So I do. It's my turn. It's my turn.
Your turn.
Right. So at the beginning, I mean, at a very early age, I was the one that would sit up, and I could only imagine I would be about 6-year-old, and I would stay up at night and I'd watch all the horror channels. I mean, Freddy was my favourite. I used to stay up, and I used to scare myself that much. I used to go through it and check to make sure my mum and my brother were still breathing, because I was that fear, and I was only 6. That was the beginning. And then I got a wee bit older, and I started experiencing different things when you're at school and you talk to your pals and you talk about all these different hauntings and ghost stories. but it fascinated me. And so from then on, where did I go for that? Like just when I got to my older teens, to like 17-year-old, I started to experience wee things like seeing like the apparition of a cat that I really couldn't explain. Everybody thought I was nuts. Wasn't nuts. It was definitely something that I did see. And then my interest in the maybe like the tarot and stuff like that became apparent. That I wanted to try and get into the tarot, and I started doing tarot readings for people. Some of you might not even know this, right? But like the old CB radios you used to get, I would do tarot readings over that, and people would say, "Oh my God, that's spot on." So then again, that spurred me on a wee bit more. But after that, it was just like hearing things, feeling things, seeing things, dreaming, deja vu, all the different kind of things made me feel like there's more to this life than this life. And so you just really want to try and investigate it. And so life happens, doesn't it? And you start working, and you have a family, and these kind of things kind of become the back foot. But this is now the time where I really want to explore it and start to understand why I can feel things, why I can hear things, why I can see things, you know. And again, like you are all saying, you can sense emotions, you can pick up on other people's feelings, and you can, I don't know, it just makes you more of a kind of caring person if you can do that. I don't know. That's just my experiences through my time. I've had people grab my shoulder. I've had my name spoke in my ear. I've smelled tobacco, just all the kind of different things. And I just feel as though that's, other than the fact that what I do in my day job is totally irrelevant to what my interests are, that is exactly what interests me the most, the paranormal, and being able to contact and be in contact with the other side, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if anybody, sorry, Scott.
No, fire in, Jill.
I was just asking if anybody's got any questions. I don't know if you guys are checking the chat while I'm rambling on.
Well, Ghost Witches was saying that she quite likes the idea of being scared. Everybody says I'm fearless, so I like to push the boundaries of belief.
I get that.
Mm-hmm. I think the more you push the boundaries, the more you start to learn. The more boundaries you push, the more you learn, regardless of how scared you get.
It's like sorry, Scott, I kind of like to put myself in a position where I'm out my comfort zone. So I am that little bit scared, and I know that some people won't agree, but sometimes having a little bit of fear can feed the energy and brings them closer.
Yep.
So having that little bit of fear and isn't always negative. A lot of people think, oh, you're scared, it's going to bring negativity, blah, blah, blah. No, fear is a natural reaction to anything.
Yep.
Everybody gets scared of something at one point in their life. And it's
That's
either...
right, and it's all backed off.
It is, and it's either fight or flight, isn't it? It's like, do I stay put and face this fear, or do I run?
Yeah. It's the fear of the unknown.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't embrace that fear, you'll never know.
That's it.
You'll never know. There's Andy Murphy. I wish I had a backstory like you guys. My wife is the one who got me interested in the paranormal. I am active military. This area gives me the chance to test the logic I am forced to live by every day. I get to take a step away from the black and white. What do you think about that? I'll go with you, Nicole. Sorry.
We know quite some guys who are at the military as well, or used to be a military, and it's good to have someone who looks it in black and white. My friend Andy is as well very skeptic, and to me it's good because we need skeptics. We need people who have a different point of view.
Yeah.
I believe what I sense and see, but that doesn't mean everyone else can sense and see it. And sometimes we can pretend we sense or see something as well. So to me, those people like Andy Murphy, it's a very good thing. We need skeptics.
Yep.
We need debunkers as well.
Mm. Yeah.
You, Scott?
I've spoke with Andy, we chatted, I mailed Andy, he's quite a decent guy. We're hoping to hook up with him. His good lady when we head to Pendle. You're from the Yorkshire area, am I right, Andy? If I've got your area wrong, I do apologise, buddy. I'm sure it's Yorkshire. So John M's asking, what are your favourite Scottish locations? I can't wait to come back to Scotland after COVID, amazing ruins and castles everywhere. So what do you think, guys? Mine's is Greyfriars. Every time I ask that, definitely Greyfriars.
Got to be the vaults for me.
Aye, I'd quite like to visit Mary King's Close. That's one thing I would love to do.
Mary King's Close is good.
I like it all. I'm going to move to the UK. I'm going to visit Scotland, Ireland, the UK. I'm going to visit it all. I like it all. So many beautiful castles in Scotland, Ireland, and the UK. Wow. Okay,
Penny, I
Penny.
think there's talked in a few of the last lives. Are there any plans for you all to meet? We've got a lot planned, Penny, for 2021, obviously with the current situation. You know, everything's on hold now, but we're planning to meet up in Pendle. We're meeting up with Danny Watson, Charlotte Underwood in Pendle as well, and Andy Murphy as well, his good lady there coming over. Then we're going down to Wales to meet up with Ghost Ramblers and hopefully Ghost Witches as well. Tag along then. We'll get Hastings on and London on and Nottingham with GSI. GSI are sort of coming up to Pendle as well. So hopefully the plans are all there. It's just as soon as the restrictions are lifted that we can get going, basically, you know. Andy's saying, yeah, North Yorkshire, yes, I was right, it is Yorkshire, so I'm glad of that. Carry on, Shelley. Sorry, I just saw that. I was just putting up a couple of the comments, though. It's your show. Carry on.
I know. We've got another question. So this is one of mine. So, and this is one for you all. Again, let's just do that. So, what has been your most interesting paranormal experience? As in, you know, like the one experience that you can always remember in your mind. If you've had a lot of experiences in the past, I know I have, but I know there's always one that sticks in my mind. And I don't mind going first.
Yeah.
But if any of you can think
Well, I think for me, the first time that I thought that I had seen anything paranormal, I was quite young. I was in my bed, sleeping, and I woke up, and all I can describe them as being is like, you know, the mannequins that you used to get in the shops that had the clothes on. I could only describe them as being like mannequins, and they were kneeling around the bottom of my bed. And I woke up and looked at the covers, and I could see them. And I pulled the covers up. I must have only been about 6, 7, 8-year-old maybe. And I pulled the covers back off again, and they were still there. And to this day, I still don't know if I was dreaming or if I actually seen them. But the fact that I knew that I'd woke up and pulled the covers over my head and then took them back down again and they were still there made me think.
That you don't know.
I don't know.
You can't explain that.
No. And to
And you
be
were so
like
young.
mannequins, which is a strange thing to see.
And you were that young that your brain wouldn't have been able to process that.
No,
Anyway.
but that's how I described them, as mannequins. That's the only way I could describe them.
God's sake.
Strange.
I mean, we talk about all these stories, right? Everybody's got stories to tell, but there's some that are really, really far-fetched. And I mean, but for us as investigators, there's nothing that's impossible.
No.
Well, I wouldn't say so, because you don't know, because we don't. It's all the unknown. So, but to see mannequins in your bedroom, I mean, a lot of people's gonna laugh at that.
I laugh. I laugh at
funny.
it because it's that funny, but at the same, think about it from like
think you were 6-year-old. You must
A
have been
child's
terrified.
point of view, waking up and seeing that, you'd absolutely cock yourself.
Right, well, I'm going to ask you, Nicole, sorry.
That's a good. Well, I have to go back to the photo reading that I do. Andy asked me, his uncle died in World War II in the Battle of Cayenne. So I read a picture and a photo, and suddenly I saw this tank. I saw these young soldiers die, explode. I felt it all, and that's really scary.
Hmm.
After that, I stopped with reading that picture, and after that, I got a visit from a young soldier.
Line's breaking up a wee bit.
I think we've lost Nicole.
It seems to have frozen.
Give her a wee second. If she's not back, I'll just continue.
Just carry on till she comes.
So
She
just
comes
while
back.
we're quiet just now, guys, Charlie and Rox said they would love to do some investigations in Scotland. Well, feel free. Guys, come and join us. Come and join us when we can all meet up.
Definitely. We would love that opportunity.
Charlie Knox, I've seen Danny a few times, come to Greyfriars. I'll tell you, I have a kind of Tudor's ear in the past about coming to Greyfriars. Charlie's saying lockdown. No, it is lockdown permitting, Charlie, and that's how I say, you know, depending on restrictions. Hopefully we'll get there at some point. We don't know how long, obviously, it's going to go and what have you. Sarah's saying she's in a shadow Canongate Cup. That's the night we went to Edinburgh and we visited Canongate Cup down the bottom of the Royal Mile. And Sarah felt this very, very, well, we all kind of felt it was quite an atmosphere if everyone wanted there, you know, to leave kind of thing. And it kind of freaked her out quite a wee bit.
I think Edinburgh's like that in general, especially the Old Town. It is quite eerie and atmospheric anyway.
Hello, Nicole. Sorry we
Hi,
lost you there.
Wi-Fi.
John, you're welcome to come along.
Okay. Do I need to tell more, or are we having another question? I don't know.
I think we had answered that question, Nicole. I think if you want to continue, you can.
Okay. So after that, I read that picture. That soldier was coming to me every night, crying, "I want to go to my mom. I want to go to my mom." He scratched my ear because I didn't know how to help him. So I had to call in help of a medium. The soldier's name was Andrew. He was 19 years old, and he had to go to America to his mom because she already lost her oldest son in the war. And then we tried to get him passed over. And that feeling that I had, because afterwards he came back to me and he said, "Thank you." And I still have shivers when I think of it.
Yeah.
Seeing him dying and feeling his pain is awful, but afterwards it's rewarding because he's back with his mom. And that's my most intense experience that I had. So it's good.
Oh. I think that's so emotional, actually.
Yeah.
So is there any questions from the chat yet? Again, was that my turn to give my phone?
Charlie and Rox says Roxanne's nan lives in Scotland, Isle of Bute, so if we visit there, we could pop over and see you. Get any time, well, yeah, feel free, just jump in the car and.
Fantastic. That's just Rossi, that's just over the water. That's not far away.
It's no other far, all that far, we've got Scottish coming out of here. It's not that far across the water. It's not that far away from us. Yeah, that's that better.
Ghost Witches has a good question as well, Shelley.
So
Ghost Witches has a question.
Yeah, Ghost
Right, let's just find Ghost Witches. Hi, is there anywhere you would never go back to?
Never say never.
I would always go back regardless of what the situation was, because curiosity would probably just get the better of me, I think.
It leaves you wanting more. Certain places makes you want more, especially the likes of Edinburgh. You always feel that there's something that you've missed out, or something that you've not managed to see, and there's that much to see and do. So you feel like you need to go back because you've not managed to get everything that you want to do done.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
What about you, Scott? Is there anywhere you want to go back?
No, no, there's nowhere well, I'm on fire the night of my speech and I'm really doing well. No, because to be honest with you, I've never, but just when Shelley was asking about paranormal experience, I've never actually had any experiences that stick out in my mind. You know, the biggest thing that sticks in my mind is the laser grid capsule we got in here. That's it. You know, that's even all the years that I've been into paranormal, that's about the only thing that's it's been kind of boring actually. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, I've sensed things about me, but no, there's nowhere I wouldn't go back to. But Edinburgh certainly does have a big pool, especially for me. I've always enjoyed it, especially the Old Town area, the Royal Mile, St Giles, you know, Greyfriars, all that kind of place. Yeah. It's just the atmosphere as well and the history of it.
I'd be surprised if anybody, having been to Edinburgh, wouldn't want to go back, because me and Sam are exactly the same as you, Scott. We just love the place and we don't know what it is, but we always want to go back. So, and is that the end of the questions?
No, we've got another couple of questions here. Andy Murphy, do each of you have a favourite piece of tech that's your go-to, or do you prefer to use the body mind as your tool?
Right, so we'll answer that one then, since I've no... Right, so myself personally, right, I've only used a few bits of equipment. To me, to go into a place and feel the energy that surrounds that area, that is probably the best. If I can go in there and I can sense and I can see or I can smell or I can get any kind of reading from my own senses, then for me that would be the best tool that I could use. Other than that, I think maybe using the Ovilus to be able to get the words coming from Spirit would be great to be able to communicate. That would be my go-to, the Ovilus.
That's my favourite.
I think the senses are your best tool. You know, I like the laser grid, the laser pen. You know, I'm not really a big, as I said in lives before, I'm really no, tech and I don't seem to agree with each other. I think I like the laser pen because it's so easy to work. You just press a button and that's it. But I think your senses are the best tool you can have, you know, to know if something or somebody's, you know, round about you or whatever. That's just my opinion.
Tech's good to kind of document it for others to be able to see, but for your own personal view and your own personal experience, to be able to see or smell, I think is good, or to hear.
Yeah.
Nicole?
I use my sense.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I use, and I always have my pendulum with me. I use an EP player on my cell phone, but I don't use that much because I trust my senses. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a technical person as well, but my senses are my main devices that I use constantly.
I think tech's it's just great to have the tech to back up the experiences that you do have. You know, I think that's what the tech is great for, is just to back everything up. So, thanks, Andy. Is there any other questions?
We've got a few questions waiting.
Do you, 2 seconds, that way. Do you get scared when I used to watch Most Haunted? It seems so fake. Well, you know, I'm not going to comment on Most Haunted, Julie, off it, but, you know, it's, you know, I used to be a big fan. Years and years ago, I used to watch it religiously. I bought all the DVDs and what have you, and then, you know, things started to not look quite right. And so I started watching the episodes again. It's amazing what you pick up the second or third time that you never picked up the first time. And so, you know, that kind of blew it for me. I don't know the girls.
I think getting scared is just a natural instinct when you go into a place. I think it's a natural instinct, but if you're a paranormal investigator, you need to compose yourself. And you need to compose yourself because you need to get the evidence to prove or to show other people what you have documented on that investigation. But it's really easy to get scared. Really, really easy to get scared. But it's got to brave it.
I get scared. I've already admitted that. I'll have a wee squeal now and again, which is perfectly fine. That's normal. But with the likes of other paranormal shows, obviously I'm not going to comment either. But I think a lot of paranormal shows that are televised, for example, and maybe that little bit more dramatised for viewing purposes. Not saying all of them are, but you do get some that are maybe played up to gain audience. Whereas I would prefer just to go in, and if I don't get any evidence, and I don't get evidence, and then I report that, rather than go in and make something up just for the likes of entertainment value. Because to me, it's not really entertainment value. It's a passion. It's something I like to do, and that's how you end up being ridiculed, because you're doing it for entertainment, and then you're seen as like a laughing stock, and that's not how I roll, basically.
You get them running out of graveyards, screaming with their arms up in the air, and stuff like that. And that kind of leads on to a question by Penny, and we seem to have lost. We've lost our host. Our host is gone.
Whoa, she's run away. We've got a question too for Penny. What's some favourite podcasts or shows you enjoy?
Everything.
I enjoy quite a few different shows.
Guys.
I quite like watching Ghost Nation, which is an American show. I enjoy that.
Quite good.
I love Haunted Hunts. That's no lie. That's just common knowledge. Love Haunted Hunts UK. Fantastic. I think how far they've came has been absolutely amazing. There's loads. There's some that I just don't watch. I don't like Ghost Bait or Ghost Loop. I wasn't too keen on the likes of that. I thought it was quite predictable. But it's not the kind of paranormal show that I like watching. It's strange because my taste differs. Like just now I'm watching Kindred Spirits. I really enjoy Kindred Spirits, and they're not a medium or anything like that. They're just like two normal people that go in that are good at sensing things. So it's quite good to see it from their point of view. And they look at the history of the place as well, which I enjoy.
So, have you all answered that question? I pressed the wrong button.
No, mine's is, my number one is, and I don't make any secret of it, is the Haunted Hunts, and we've had Danny on, and we were very, very fortunate and lucky in order to have the whole team on this week. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Saturday for some reason. Charlie Rocks are in the chat. My number one is definitely Haunted Hunts. Always will be, no change, because as Sam said, just a earlier comment, these people are going to they do drama for effect and that. With the Haunted Hunts, you don't get that. What you see is what you get. Basically, they're talking, if they don't get anything to tell you, look, we've got nothing, and that's it. But the guys are all genuine people. They're all normal people, and, to me, they're just amazing. I like Haunted State as well. We had Michael Brown on last week. And we've got the whole team coming in next month. And Knock Knock Ghost, the Canadian TV show. We had them in last year. I like them because they combine, a bit like Haunted State as well, they combine a wee bit of comedy with the ghost. They still take it serious, but they stick a, they can add a wee bit of comedy, blend it in, and it's quite a good mixture. So that's my top three. But Haunted Hunts definitely number one. There's no debate.
They're quite good. I love to see them as well, but I love to see everything, even the shows that are a bit Hollywood style, just for entertainment. But I see that Penny Lawton mentioned the name Amy Bruni. She's good. She used to be Hunters Interval, and she has quite some good podcasts as well. She is quite good as well. Haunted Hunts, of course, they're very good. Patty Negri is very good. I like her a lot. But I also watch the other shows. for entertainment, just to have a ball and a laugh because, wow, demon, ah, I just love it. Makes me happy.
Oh, well, I say, well, I mean, I've been watching all these programmes for years. So when it obviously started off as Most Haunted, then it was Ghost Adventures, and I've been watching like Destination Fear, Miss Sam, Kindred Spirits, what else is there? Ghost Nation, Taps, Ghost Hunters, all the kind of different ones. But the new I'm actually hooked on Haunted Hunts, and the thing that I like about them is not only am I watching them for the paranormal, but it's making me more interested in the different locations and why they're investigating the places in the first instance. So that's why I'm kind of hooked on most on Haunted Hunts. Sorry, at the minute, that's my favourite one just now. So, what I was
John,
going to ask is,
thanks for putting me on to Haunted State. You're welcome, buddy. It is a good show. So we've got the full lot cast coming in next month. Next month. I'm just trying to scroll down the comments as well. Julie was asking what channel these shows. Most of them are on Prime. You'll find most of them. Haunted Hunts is on Prime and YouTube. Haunted State, not Ghost, they're on Prime.
Discovery Plus as well. They've got a lot on as well now. They've sort of taken it off their travel channel and things and put it onto like an app, which is Discovery Plus. You can get it on your Sky or on your tablet and things like that as well.
that's right. And if you haven't got them on there, you can find them on YouTube as well.
Ghost Witches, me and Pam love Brie from Not Ghost. Can't wait for them. We've got them. Have got them coming back. Ghost Witches, they're absolutely fantastic. We had them on. I think it was in about October, November last year. They were on, and what a group! They're just so funny. Andy Murphy is saying, "Don't forget Paranormal History, the YouTube show." Thank you very much.
Just seen that. Thanks, Andy.
Big thumbs up there.
Thanks to Julie as well. She loved listening to us and getting information, and we'll be tuning in again.
Oh, that's
Glad you
cool.
enjoyed it, Julie. Thanks for tuning in.
You're always welcome. Everybody's welcome here. So I think where's Shelley? She's disappeared again.
Yeah.
So what about the people that are in the chat? What do you think about the paranormal, and what's your favourite experiences, or have you had any experiences? Feel free to let us know.
And I do apologise, guys. I've just literally just got myself new equipment and I keep pressing the wrong button. So if you see me disappearing, you will know that I've done it again.
We'll forgive you.
So,
And I need to pop out for a second, but I'll be back in a couple of seconds. I'll be back in a minute. I'll just carry on without me.
right.
I'll show you anyway.
Well, I'm loving all these questions.
Not yet.
So, Nicole, this is a question for you from and a question for you, Nicole. Which of your five senses would you say is actually the strongest?
Oh,
Well, we can discount taste. I mean, that's strong.
the senses, my seeing senses before I see with my eyes are the strongest. Right now, I have a visitor trying to knock at my door, and my arm is starting to shiver a lot, and I feel electricity in it, and I get pictures in my head. That's the strongest. But to me, that's normal. That's normal. So I don't know if that's the strongest senses. Lately, I've been growing a bit as well. I had a premonition for the 5th time in my life, and that's a bit scary, and I don't want that. So I'm on the verge of, do I want this or not? It's getting stronger and stronger, and if it gets too strong and you don't know how to handle it, it's scary.
It can get too much.
I still believe we all feel and sense things. Sam, you're an empath. We are all empaths. Most of the people are.
Yeah.
But sometimes you grow and sometimes you don't grow. You have to have patience as well. But to me, this premonition stuff, it's new for me. And yeah, I think I have to call it now that's my strongest sense at the moment, because it's new. It's new for me. But
Uh-huh.
it's, to me, yeah. We will see how it ends
Um,
up.
We have a
um,
few more questions here, guys, if you
Uh-huh.
don't mind.
yeah.
Andy Murphy, his 3-year-old son keeps telling him to stop the boy playing with his toys, and there's no other boy. You wouldn't believe how spiritual children can be, and
Mhm.
how adaptive they are at seeing spirits and hearing spirits.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he's being scared by this boy that's playing toys with him, all you have to do is ask him to politely leave. Just say, "Look, leave me alone. I'm not. I don't like you playing with me." That sort
Yeah.
of thing. But it's amazing what children can see.
Yeah.
Every kid can see ghost imaginary friends, but we are growing up, and at one point we stop using our inner senses. That's my belief.
Yeah.
So every kid
Uh-huh.
can see
Both
ghosts,
my
and
daughters.
yeah, and at one point most of us stop seeing or sensing. But
Uh-huh.
it's what Sam says. If a child doesn't want someone, just tell them, I don't want you here. Don't bother me right now. This is my bedroom. You can talk to me when I'm there, but not in here. Mostly it
Uh-huh.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah, both my daughters have had well, they call them imaginary friends, but they're not, and they've both had them, but they don't have them anymore. They don't seem to recognise that there's anybody there. Obviously, my oldest daughter, she's a lot older, she's a teenager now, but both of them have just stopped, and it just generally starts to fizz out unless it keeps going to their adulthood, like yourself, Nicole.
Yeah.
That just proves it, Andy, that your dog's growling in the same part that your little boy's telling you that there's another little boy playing with his toys. There you go,
Uh-huh.
that spirit.
Yeah.
Again, that's the animal picking up on energy.
Yeah.
Animals are very sensitive. Cats and dogs are sensitive. Spirits.
Children are special
And
because
stuff.
children are more. She's done that again.
She keeps kicking herself off.
She got a new tablet or iPad, some gadget today, and I think she's still getting used to it, folks. So apologies. But no, kids are more sensitive to spirit because basically their minds have been, maybe corrupted are all mud, but their minds haven't been influenced by,
They're innocent.
adults and the media and, everything else. As we tend to get older, I think we tend to listen to the media more, and so we lose that kind of interest, whereas kids are totally separated. Well, most kids are separated from it these days, but a lot of the kids, unfortunately, are all their tablets and their fancy gadgets.
Yeah.
You was saying,
Going back to what Penny said, that she was giving a ring by her grandmother, and then when she put it on, she smelt her scent, which absolutely bowled her over because she'd been gone 10 years. I get that 100%. I sometimes think that that's residual, and that because you now have an item that belonged to someone that you loved so dear, that all
That's
those
true.
feelings and all those nice things that you remember about them all comes up. Like they're sent. Like my dad's been passed for 5 years this year. I've still got his football scarf and his baseball cap, and to this day I can still smell him off the scarf and off this baseball cap, and it's a comfort thing. It's nice to be able to. It is really comforting, and it makes you that warm, and it makes you feel like you're close to them again. And I think it's a good thing. And I do believe that it tends to be like the residual, and then all your memories and your emotions all get caught up, and you can just smell them, and it's like they're there with you. It's brilliant.
I agree. Some items of my grandmother and mother as well, which they loved, and there's lots of residual energy in it, and that's nice. You can sense, you can smell, you can feel them. That's nice.
It's comforting.
That's very nice.
It is nice to have them close to
Yeah.
you, whatever way, to be able to smell them, feel them. Great.
You just know they're there. It's like a sense of calm. That's how I feel when if I've had a hard day or whatever, I sometimes get my dad's wee memorial box out, and have a wee
Uh-huh.
look through it and smell his scarf and sit. It sounds trivial, but see, even just holding his scarf for a wee minute and just like a wee smell like this makes me feel that wee bit better. It's just like, right, I'm okay now, I'm calm now, I can
Yeah.
put it away, it's there, I know where it is.
Mhm.
I would just say it was trivial. You know, everybody's got their own individual way, or if they've had a hard day or a long day, whatever,
Uh-huh.
of kind of chilling out or whatever, just taking that 10, 15 minutes where you come in for work or whatever, and just, you know, they've got a wee routine or a wee ritual, whatever you might call it,
Mhm.
the day. And some might seem daft, you know, some might seem stupid, but to that person, it's their thing, it's what they do.
I sometimes
Sure.
talk to his photos. I've got his photos are up in the house, and I sometimes have a wee talk to him when I'm doing my cleaning or whatever, or have a wee yap and say, "Oh, Dad, did you see that?" And it just makes me feel that bit better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is me trying to multitask. If I press any more buttons and I go back off again, I'm so sorry. I'm looking at Facebook. Thanks, Julie. When your mum passed, it is good to be able to feel those that you love. If you can feel them close to you in any way, shape, or form, then it just helps to be able to get on and kind of move on a wee bit. So, is there any other questions, guys? Because you know my multitasking is not great.
Have we got questions for yous?
At the
Is there any more questions for the chat?
Julie was just asking if any of us do
No,
readings.
just replying. I don't do readings, but I go with my best friends before the COVID happened on house visits, helping people to get their loved ones to give them messages, because I don't do much investigation myself. I visit people or give them messages. So that's what I do the most. Readings, I'm not doing readings right now. Maybe in the future, I don't know. Okay. Anyone else?
Hi,
I've-
Freaky Geek.
Hi, Freaky Buddy, who you're good. Readings for me, no, I can't do them. I'll be honest, I can't do. You know, it's not something. No offence to people who do them, but it's something I can't do, and I wouldn't try and do it because it just make a total backside.
either.
You know, Joe says she would love a message, but I said I don't. We're all right, buddy. How you doing? No, Joe, I've never ever tried it, and I would just make I was going to say the A word there. I would just make a. Shall we say? You know what I mean?
I certainly wouldn't want to try and do that either. I'll leave that to professionals because it's just something that if you get it wrong, you get it seriously wrong. You
It
know,
can
it's
play
no-
with people's feelings and things as well. So it's no, if you're not sure, don't do it. Simple as that. You don't want to ruin somebody's. You know what I mean? It can make or break somebody getting their tarot and readings done, because a lot of people hold a lot of ground with it. So they like to get a reading done because they're craving for a message or whatever. And then if you give them this message, which is nothing like what they expected, then
That's
they
right.
lose all
When I
their
was
faith,
young-
don't they?
Aye, when I was young, like I did the tarot, but I was young, and I think, to be honest with you, I think I felt like I was fluking it. So I was just like, I didn't believe in myself enough to give people that information, which is why I just didn't keep it going. I certainly wouldn't I wouldn't like to give people false hopes or false information, basically, that could lead them to make choices that they shouldn't be making.
That's it.
So certainly wouldn't do that. Just leave it to people that know.
And
So
it opens a door for all these fake mediums. As Sam says, you know, if you've just recently lost, maybe you've lost your mother or father, or, you know, whatever, and you're desperate for that one message, you know, and it opens a door for a lot of people who say, well, I can tell them whatever I want to tell them and they'll believe it, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with that been answered,
I'm talking about
spirit messages, talking about spirit messages, I couldn't do that.
From spirit. I've never been lucky enough to get a message for spirit to pass on to somebody. I've got a name. It's somebody, you know, we used to talk to, and this one person had been looking for proof that a relative was still about, and for some reason I was out one morning and I kept getting this name in my head, and it's a name I would never ever, think of myself. And I saw this person in the afternoon, and I says, I keep getting it. I was meeting 2 or 3 of them, and I says, all day I've been getting this name in the back of my head, and this person turned around and says, well, I know who that is. That's my, I'm not going to talk about it because we're not associating me with them, but however. So it was the name of a relative, so I don't know if that comes close or no. But I've never been lucky enough to be able to say, right, your dad's here and he's saying this to you or whatever. Yeah. I was on Charlotte Underwood does a course on a Sunday, and I was on her course just before Christmas, and I picked up on a man standing behind. There's a panel that's on the show, and there was a lady on the show, and we had to go around, having a wee look at different people, and I picked up on a man wearing a suit and holding lilies, a bunch of lilies. So Charlotte says to the lady, and the lady says, yes, my dad always dressed smartly in suits, and my sister's favourite flower is a lily. So that kind of let her know that her dad was still, round about her. But that's really about it for me.
Yeah.
I've had messages, but through a spiritualist or psychic, like to myself, I haven't actually had like a spirit give me a message for someone. But like my dad and that's came through, and my granddad's came through to me before, but obviously that's through a spiritualist or a tarot reader. But none that's really like came through to myself.
There was one time when I joined the spiritualist circle, and I was trying to develop my my skills, my senses and stuff like that. We were all sat in a circle, and I have no confidence when it came to speaking out in places like that, especially when I didn't really know anybody. But I kept on feeling my legs shaking, my knees were absolutely trembling, and all I could hear was this name, Jeannie, constantly going through my head, and I could not think why I was getting that, but I kept being drawn to one person, and I just never had the confidence to say anything. So it happened the next week again. I was getting the feeling again, and it just wouldn't go away. So I felt like I had to say something. But me being me, I waited till I got outside, and then I spoke to the person, and she says, that's right enough, that's my mother-in-law. And she really did have bad knees. And I thought, right, okay. But again, you have to be super confident in knowing exactly where you're going with these things, because it could really open up a lot of problems if you don't know. And if you're not confident, then I wouldn't pursue it until you are, really.
Yeah.
Just some comments, girls. Freaky. So about a year and a half ago, I got 2 readings about a week apart, and they sort of matched up, and I got the help I was. That's good, Freaky. I hope it helped you, buddy. So the ones that pops up. I woke up hearing my mum's voice, or a voice I don't even know. I think, give me a break. Sometimes it's because you're sleeping, your mind's, is not as occupied with the outside world, your everyday life, and you're more open to stuff coming through. And I think spirit, as again, this is just my opinion, I think spirit, sense that. They know you're more open and vulnerable, so they kind of see this as the best time to get in contact with you, basically. That's the best way I can put it. Julie saying about Charlotte, I watch Charlotte all the time. Definitely, Julie, she's on just drop her a message. She's on it's every second Sunday. She does a class, and she's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
As well,
Julie saying, believe in yourself. Exactly. I believe you. I think that is important to believe in yourself. What do you think, girls?
You've got to believe in
Definitely.
yourself.
Trust your
You've
instincts.
You've
definitely
got to have some self-belief, haven't you? You have got to believe in yourself. Because who else is going to believe in you?
I was
Trust
just
yourself,
going to
sir.
say that. Who else is going to believe?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you don't believe, it's the same as if you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you? You need self-love and you need self-belief.
Yeah.
Here's me getting all philosophical. What's all that about?
You, that's quite unusual for you. I mean,
I know. I bet a dictionary tonight. Philosophical.
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 I'm the one for Glasgow, and I can't even say that. Philosophical.
That's what I said. Philosophical.
You said philosophical. I said you.
Same difference.
Nah, don't think. I don't think
Tomatoes,
so.
tomatoes.
Cassie did the first reading, and Charlotte did the second one. I'm not sure. I don't really know Cassie all that well, Freaky, but the Shadows is good at what she does. I can definitely vouch for Shadows. I'm mastering tuning my
Yeah,
sixth
Cassie
sense.
reads oracle cards. Good.
I know it's a daily occurrence. I know it's going to happen days, hours, or minutes before my neck tears. I'm asking tuning my. I know. It's a daily occurrence. I know it's going to happen days, hours, or minutes before. I can see why it would make you weary, Susie. Opening up fully, especially having night terrors. And we seem to have lost Shelley again. No, we've lost.
Yeah.
This. Sorry about this, folks. It's these women. Do you know what I mean?
No, me. I've been here the full time.
I do apologise. Sorry. I keep going to press the chat so I can see what people are saying, and I keep pressing the button to switch it off. I do apologise.
Sam's the only one that's stuck with. All right, I had to dip out to see the wee one for a couple of minutes, but Sam's the only one that's. Shelley's been ducking out. Nicole, she's away back to Belgium. I think. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Oh, does she still? She's still there?
I'm still in Belgium.
She's in audio.
My camera doesn't work.
Right. I see.
Yeah, my camera doesn't. I'm still
Question
in
and
Belgium.
answer. Sam and Shelley are just new to paranormal history. They've only been ways 3 weeks now.
Yep. About 3 weeks.
So what do you used to think the most important part of being in a group is? Or a team?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Working together, listening to each other.
Being an individual, but at the same time, respecting each other.
Open to each other's views.
Yeah,
that's right.
No two people are the same.
No, that's right. And respecting each other's opinions.
No, everybody's going to agree on the same things at the same time.
We could all have a laugh.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Aye, sometimes. Julie, thanks for coming in, doll. You're totally welcome back. We're back tomorrow night with the American team, so, you take care and have a safe night, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Teamwork makes the dream work. It does, you get a lot of these teams drawing it for themselves. And they don't bother with their other teammates.
Yeah.
They're only interested in getting that one capture or whatever. Thanks very much, Penny. But
thanks, Penny. Nice talking to you.
My mother and I had times thought we heard voices, smelt aromas. We heard voices, smelled aromas, and such. But that's what happens, Freak, as I said, earlier on, before you came in, but Spirit will use or find whatever way possible to get in touch with you, to make them, that they're there, and it could be a familiar smell, perfume, or cooking, could be anything. that you can associate with them. But as I say, with teams, and I think we've got a pretty good team. Which you think the most important thing a team is, Nicole?
Very good. Very international as well. So, and we're growing and growing, and to me, it's interesting, the history, the interviews, the paranormal, all in one. That to me is very good. And we're nice people. That's important.
Definitely.
I am.
Thank you, Nicole. But what I was meaning was, what do you think the most important thing in a team is in general?
It's been
Getting
part
along
of a
with
team.
each other.
Yeah.
Getting along with each other and agree to disagree. And
That's
just
right. That's exactly what we were saying.
having fun, enjoy each other's company, and chat about everything. That's the main important thing.
Ghost
There's no
witches
bar-
as well are saying sense of humour.
Oh yeah.
That is what we've got in abundance. It might not seem like it, but we are.
Andy Murphy is asking, how did you all come together?
Well,
got
there's
you
a
for that
question.
Biggest mistake in my life. Andy, what happened? Basically, Sarah and I started the channel that last year, and we met Nicole. I think it was through another channel, wasn't it? We were in the same chat all the time.
At Missy's channel.
Missy's channel. That's Missy. Shadows of the Moon, and also our partners at Chaos. We met in their channel, and we just got talking, and I forgot your name there, Nicole. So Nicole, wanted to come on board with us, and so we ended up with Nicole and Sam and Shell. I'll let them tell you how we met.
When you go, Sam.
We were actually on the Haunted Hunts page, and I'm sure we were watching one of the
Pendle.
seasons. I can't remember. I think it was season 2, Chester. The Chester season, I think. Was it the Pendle one or was it the Chester?
Well, I had just finished watching Pendle.
Well, and Scott had actually commented under it, and Shelley had commented under Scott something about Haunted Hunts, and then it just aspired from there for some reason. I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. It just sort of happened.
So basically, I had put a post on that how much I was enjoying the Haunted Hunts investigation at Pendle Hill, and I thought I just so want to go and investigate with this team, really did. And so I put that up, and Scott then commented on that post, but it was late at night and Shirley was needing to go to her bed, so then I went to my bed, but Sam was on it, and she contacted Scott, and then that was that. The next day, part of the team, boom, and we've never looked back. Such a great team to work with, Scott and Sarah and Nicole, everybody, even the USA team, as we've got as well. And
it actually feels like we've known each other for years, which is strange. We've just sort of all gelled together, and we're all so similar, which is quite scary.
We've turned into the dysfunctional family with the same goal and the same interests. We love it. Very much.
As we do really go on well. As the Shell said, we got the American team. The American team came about because we had interviewed Matthew Ghost Tomoski and Elizabeth Wittenberry last year from the movie The Crumbs. Matthew was the assistant director on it, and Elizabeth was the script supervisor. And it was a day or two later, after the interview, Matthew got in contact with me saying that how would we feel about him setting up a Paranormal History USA team. Always everything comes through Sarah and I, what have you. And so we were over the moon, and so they started off the first of the year, and that's how the USA team that came about. But obviously, it's purely by chance that we've all met on a chat or, in like say, Haunted Hunts page and what have you. We've got another guy down south that's a member of our team. We met him through chat as well. It's just randomly met,
And the funny thing about that, Scott, as well, as you said before. Sorry, Scott, on you go.
Well, sorry, we've also got Laura as well. She's part of the team. She's a friend of Sarah and I. She stays just up the hill phase. So we're all kind of close. Sam and Shelley live about 15 minutes drive phase. So it's all handy, obviously, when Nicole's in Belgium, but that's not her fault, what can I say? She's still as much as team.
I have to go and live to the UK. I have to go to the UK. That's the only thing I can do. So,
hey, Donna, how you doing?
On the page.
Donna made it. Donna's a young lady I was chatting to last night from Ireland. She's in a Irish team. Carrick Fergus, I think I pronounced it right, Donna. I'm really glad you made it, hon. Good for you to be along.
Hiya.
Hi, Donna.
The Haunted Hunt seem to be bringing a lot of people together. We started about 2 weeks ago after binge watching season 1 to 3. I mean, they are really good.
And they're so down to earth that it's really good. It's well put together, and their locations have been absolutely fantastic. Pendle Hill was obviously Pendle for me was up there with the best. I enjoyed Chester as well, but Pendle just blew me out the water. Big time.
I followed them from day one through season 1. I've been a fan since then, and Pendle Hill did. I was the ultimate, the ultimate season. John Eames, have any of you booked onto any of the Haunted Hunts events that have been announced? Not yet, John, no, because we're in lockdown, what have you, and we're actually meeting up with Dan when we go to Pendle. So we're looking forward to that. So we're not booked up with any of them. I can't wait to meet some of you for future hunts. Hopefully that will happen. Well, fingers crossed, Gold. What does it say? When we're heading down, and I know I spoke to you in mails as well, we're heading down there, your direction after restrictions. Obviously, yet again, we just don't know what's happening. Pendle is bloody amazing. Really got to me quite emotional. It's a place, even just looking at photographs of the place, you can sense the atmosphere and the history. Especially when you look at the hill. It's absolutely amazing. And the thing I liked about, there's been a lot of YouTube documentaries and all that about Pendle Hill. The thing I liked the most about the Haunted Hunts one was that you got the history combined with investigations. And it's Simon Entwistle on as well. He's a fantastic storyteller, Simon. He's on Sunday. We'll get him coming back in. But they brought him in, and the whole team took you. As I said the other night when we had them on, they took you on a kind of journey. It was a journey for them, and they made it like a journey for you when you're watching. You finish watching one episode, I need to watch the next one, see what happens. You
need to keep going, don't you?
Aye, and I've watched.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I've watched it about 4 times, and I actually started watching it again. I think it was the night we had them in. I started watching them again. It's one of these things you can watch it over and over, and you never get bored with it. You never get fed up. Andy Murphy is saying, Pendle is like an obsession for me and my wife. We're about an hour away from often jump in the car and drive just to drive around. I understand that, girls. Can you understand that as well? It's got a point to it.
It's the same for all us when we go to Edinburgh. You just feel as though you just need to go and visit the place. For no reason in particular, just because you feel drawn to that place. And I know Pendle is the same for a lot of people. It's like a gravity pull almost that just takes you back.
It's almost as you say, like great amateur. I'm really drawn to Greyfriars, and even if I go to Edinburgh for a walkabout, I need to go to Greyfriars, even if it's for 10 minutes. It might sound absurd, but even if it's only for 10 minutes, I need to go up to Greyfriars, have a quick wander, and then, leave. I need to go. I don't know what it is, It's like a big bit of rope pulling you up. And Pendle, to me, is the same kind of effect, With Charlie and Rock saying, thanks, guys. We really do appreciate the support. He's deserve it, Charlie and Ross, he deserve it because he's worked hard and he's a dedicated, and as I said before, the main thing is, the biggest point is he's a genuine.
That's
right.
To me, that says all. He's a genuine. And there's so many different ghost shows out there today that, it's just fake and it's demon this, demon that. But you're totally spot on. Donna's saying, hopefully see you over here sometime in the future. She's from Carrickfergus. Well, we're actually coming over. Well, we're meant to be coming over in May. Patty Negri, she's doing a Game of Thrones tour in Ireland, so she's invited us over to. I might get this name wrong, Donna. Is it Sligo? Sligo. Sligo.
Right, Sligo.
Over there in May, but I think it's going to be put off to maybe September, October time, possibly. So we will be over there at some point this year. As our Flair, that's Sarah Todd, daughter. Tayami loves Greyfriars, but never took in the middle of the night or anything like that, so don't start thinking, we drag her at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Phone child line.
It would be child line, Tayami absolutely loves Greyfriars. She's addicted to it. I think that's partly to do with Mum and I, but, maybe. It's like Karen and Lana pulls you back. Kieran Do. I wasn't too sure whether to try that name or not. No. I adore Greyfriars. You don't want to leave it. You want to just sit there and, I don't know, chill, for want of a better word. But as soon as our restrictions are eased, us lot are in the car and we're off to Edinburgh. It's our first stop.
That's right. We just
even
cannot be.
McDonald's or Burger King, forget that.
That's right. We need to grab a McDonald's on the way.
Aye, after it. That's so true. The haunted touch. Yeah, they keep it real, Susie, which is the main thing in my opinion.
What I like about it is my phone. Do not know how to switch these off. But what I like about them is they're making me more interested in actually learning about the different locations that they go to, like the history. Like watching that place is absolutely fascinating me. It's not been a place I've been really aware of before, but I really want to go to Chester now. But just because watching the haunted hunts, I just think the place looks so historical with all the Tudor buildings and stuff like that. But I would just love to just go there and visit. So I think in that respect, you don't even need to be paranormal to want to just visit. So
I'm quite into my history, so I like going to the places that I've got a lot of history because I get a feeling, a sense of what it was like years and years and years ago, and that's what interests me. I like to look at the history side of it as well. It's good to know a bit of the history, and then I think it gives you an opening sort of thing. So then you're like, right, so this happened here, and you sort of know what to expect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy. Sorry, dog. Thanks, Andy, for coming in. Talk to you tomorrow, buddy. You stay safe. Carry on, Sam.
Sorry, somebody said, do you ever, Donna's asking, do you ever fancy York for investigations? I've heard York's supposed to be pretty Haunted.
You think of the history it's in York, you know,
Mhm.
dating way back to even like William Wallace times.
Uh-huh.
So Donna, we've got a few investigations planned down south for that, you know, after the thingy. And there's no reason why we can't do York. We have got quite a few things sitting in the bag, and to do York, I think that'd be pretty amazing. Susie said Danny's a bit shouty though. He can be a bit loud, you know, but I
He's
like
passionate.
that. Going to stop take my words.
I'm psychic after all.
Aye, maybe. He's passionate, you know, same as the rest of the team as well. He's passionate and he gets involved and you know what's going on basically. And we're actually doing a Forgotten Pendle. I'm not giving any details away or anything. Coming in March. It'll be called Forgotten Pendle, and it's a side to Pendle that people have never seen. That's all I'm going to say on the subject.
What's that face? What's that face?
That's coming in March with a couple of wee surprises in it as well, which I'm really looking for. Even these two don't know about it yet. I need to talk to them about it actually. So you need to remind me to talk to you about it.
Exclusive.
How about that's communication for you? That's
I know.
we talk
Where's the
every day.
teamwork? Where's the teamwork in that? The teamwork
That's an
in I.
exclusive, and the viewers know before the team.
Aye,
Well,
there's no Irish teamwork.
I put a post up on our Facebook page. Read the Facebook page and you'll see. I thought I told you about it. No.
No.
Oh, it's called Forgotten Pendle. And
Forgotten Pendle.
that's all I'm going to
There's
say.
a lot of good stuff coming up in the future for us. We just need to wait for lockdown to finish and then we're out.
As is frustrating, same as it is for many, you know, every other team out there. You know, I talk a lot to GSI. You know, we collaborate with them as well down south in Nottingham, and they've got so much lined up. And you know, Ghost Ramblers who is coming on, and everybody's just sitting about waiting for something, you know, for a break, and you know, we're off.
Like waiting for it's pretty much like waiting for the race to start, but we'll get there. We'll all get there. Right, guys, I don't know if there's any more questions. Oh, Susie, I went to a haunted house walkthrough in the Shambles in York. It's not open anymore. Wasn't impressed. However, just walking through all the Shambles, you feel such an energy. It's a strange feeling, but amazing. That's what I like about feeling that's using your kind of senses. That's what I like about a location. Any place I visit, you get that kind of that atmosphere, that feeling when you go into a place.
And the good thing about us, it seems a lot of all of us can drive, you know, so getting places, is, you know, is drivable. But I think we should stick York on our list of places to go. Donna's asking how long we're going. We're just about to wrap it up just now, folks.
She's having withdrawal symptoms.
I think we're all the same, Donna. We're all just we've got 6 or 7 local investigations lined up as well. And
Really itching just to get out, aren't we? Just to get in about it, get your teeth into it.
I was actually tempted, you know, but keep this a secret. I was tempted the other night to take a wee wander up to one of the cemeteries near where we live, just for a wee wander and a wee bit of filming. But I thought, you know, knowing Malloch, I'd get grassed in. So, you know,
well, now that you've went live to the world of the internet, then you probably would, aye. Hello.
I never did it. I was tempted. I was sitting. I thought, you know,
Sam would be on speed dial to the police.
Well, I thought, well, knowing Malloch, I'd go and somebody would see a wee bald guy wandering about a cemetery in the middle of the night with a torch. I was like, you know, what's he up to? You know?
The new Birkin hair.
That's right. Your face would be plastered all about these paranormal sites. Ghost detected.
Have you seen this man? No, I mean, have you?
Weirdo.
He's usually carrying a shovel.
I think we better wrap it up there because this could go wrong.
Well, we're on to visit 70s. Okay, Donna, rub it in. Why don't you, doll? Rub it in. We're allowed 20 minutes a day outside exercise. I just unfortunately the 70s more than 20 minutes away. So we're bomb. I mean, thanks very much to John M and Susie as well. Thanks to everybody in the chat for coming in tonight. You know, it was a wee
Thank
bit
you so much. It's been really fantastic.
I hope you've got to know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
Some of our quirks, you know. It was just a wee informal get together, a wee chit chat. And we do appreciate everybody that comes in and all the questions that you put into the chat as well. We're back on tomorrow night. We've got the Paranormal History USA's coming in. We're doing haunted locations in America. Also, because you're American. So we'll be doing that. And that's it. So we're on that. Stay safe, please, folks. Stay indoors if you possibly can, and stay safe. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night.
Stay safe, guys. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.